If you are a personalized supplement e-commerce brand owner wanting to take their business to 5 to 6 figures, let this sink in. Selling your product will make you some money, but marketing your product around the demand is what is going to give you that predictable back-to-back monthly stream of income coming from your brand. And in this video, I'll be giving you 5 of the most important tips that you can implement right away for your brands. You dial these into your marketing and you will have a brand that's going to generate you a predictable stream of income 24/7. By the way, here's what I can promise you by the end of this video. Skipping these strategies is going to hinder your brand's scalability and profitability from the get-go. Well, hello there and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zakri Nurdin and I had the pleasure of working with one of the global luxury retailers for over 2 years with an LTV of over $500,000 in personal sales. Without any further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So the very first tip that I want to share is start creating and building your email list as soon as possible. So I can't tell you how important email list is if you are a personalized supplement industry or an e-commerce brand. Maintaining and building a healthy email list is pivotal for your business. So for instance, where this could be a scenario where you are doing a pre-launch for your brand, or if you are even an already established brand, make sure you are creating an email list as soon as possible. And for my client's brand, 35% if the brand revenue is coming from email list. And one of the good ways you can start curating or collecting your email list is by installing website pop-ups. So what you want to do is you're going to use this website pop-up to incentivize people into signing up to your email list. And through that, you can offer incentives such as 5% off your first purchase or 10% discount during checkout. It really depends upon what you as a brand is able to feasibly offer, and it can even be like a free gift. For instance, you can use service providers like Justuno or SumoMe. These apps are gonna create content unlock or discount unlock so people can be incentivized into signing up for your email list. Once you have curated your email list, your second step is to use this email list to do an email blast out. So before you jump right into the blasting out of your email list, make sure your email list has been warmed up by sending email to the list at least once a week. The reason why we do this is 1, to make sure our list health is up, and 2 is to make sure we are increasing the deliverability of our email list. If we don't warm up your email list by at least emailing them once a week, they are going to go directly into the spam box, and we do not want to go into the spam box. We want to get into the inbox and get as much exposure as humanly possible. And the thing that I love about email list is it is basically free marketing. Apart from the small fees that we pay for the service provider, such as Klaviyo or MailChimp, it is basically free marketing. So please capitalize them. And what we have done for some of our clients is to remove the hassle of having to manually email every single week. We have set up an automated flow. So it's going to be automatically sending the email list with emails once a week. And speaking of flows, there are 3 must-have flows to make sure your brand is capitalizing on your email marketing. So the very first must-have flow is a welcome sequence. So the welcome sequence, it gets around 50% of open rate, which is 20 to 30% above industry standards. So you definitely always must have an email welcome sequence set it up in place. This not only makes sure you are welcoming new email subscribers to your email list, but also make sure that you are converting these email subscribers into your paying customers. So that's email sequence 1. So the second must-have email sequence is going to be an abandoned cart. So what an abandoned cart does is once a potential customer happens to abandon your product in their cart, we are going to be sending them with a following up email which provides a link to the customer and get redirected back into the cart so they hopefully make a purchase. So the third sequence is going to be a product sequence. This is going to be one of the most important sequences out of the 3 because this is what is going to ensure your brand's longevity, especially if you're looking for more conversion for your brand. brand. So what a product sequence does is it is going to take your potential customers through a structured journey where you will be educating your customers on your top sellers, your best sellers, and your brand's history and heritage. This is not only important to make sure you are on top of the mind when it comes to brand recognition, this also ensures that you are providing a better social proof for your customers on a weekly basis. So the more they see, the more they're exposed to, the better they are complied to buy from you. So those are the 3 must-have sequence from the get-go. Moving on to step number 3 would be collaborating with micro-influencers. So these are the kind of influencers where we want to gift out a product for free, and in return we are going to get exposure and content. And there are 3 R's that I follow in order to find the right fit of micro-influencers for your brand. First R is going to be reach, which is where we are going to deeply focus on micro-influencers that are having very powerful, engaged, and well-nurtured audience that are more niche focused rather than a generalized audience, which is like more so like a macro audience. So generally a good number would be 5 to 50K followers. These are micro-influencers that are more than willing to take up a product and give us free exposures and content in return. So the second R that is going to be standing for is relevancy. So relevancy, this is where you as a brand need to find a micro-influencer that is within your category and is very relevant to your brand. It doesn't necessarily has to be a brand that is your competitor. It can be a brand or a micro brand that is sharing your same vision or mission. A really good tip you can use is have an analysis on your competitor's brand, on what kind of influencers they are collaborating with, so you can have a really good idea on what kind of influencers or influencer category you need to focus on as a brand. So the final R is going to be relationship. This is when you as a brand have to make sure the kind of micro-influencers you are collaborating with has a really good relationship with their followers, a deep relationship with their followers. So I'm going to give you 3 indicators. The first indicator is they have a really strong social presence on Instagram that can be a really engaging video content. They have a really good YouTube presence which has a community, and if this community has gone across Instagram, that means this influencer has a really good fan follower. Number 2 would be a lot of comments. If their video has a lot of comments, that means they have a really engaging content. And the third indicator would be a 2-way dialogue. Now, what do you mean 2-way dialogue? A 2-way dialogue is pretty much a communication trust that the influencer have with the audience. Since the influencer was able to instill trust in the audience mind, they will be commenting and replying, asking for certain products on certain things that have used on the video. They might even ask their opinion or advice on certain things. So these are some of the really good signs of very good trust. Because by the end of the day, we as a brand, we are leveraging the influencer's trust with their audience. Or we might as well just be sending a bunch of marketing for a cold traffic. So there's no point. So the trust is the key. So the 4th tip would be to increase your AOV and LTV. So AOV is average order value and LTV is a lifetime value. So these are the 2 metrics that you really need to focus on. If you want to increase these 2 metrics, you need to focus on upselling, cross-selling, and bundles. So upselling is pretty much when someone is looking for a product and they want to buy more of the product. Cross-selling, for instance, is when a person has already looking for a core product and they add on a complementary product which is very much aligned with the core product. And a bundle is pretty much a really good way to show different varieties of discount rates. For instance, we have prepared a custom user experience for one of our clients' brand website where you can click on a bundle and you can see the price goes up and down. So it's a lot more interactive. So the last and the final tip, which is going to be the 5th tip, which is going to be using Instagram and Facebook video ads. So Zach, what do you mean Instagram, Facebook video ads? Everybody uses it. Hear me out. If you are not using Instagram video ads with the captions on, you are leaving money on the table. Let me tell you why. 85 to 90% of the people that are watching Instagram, Facebook videos are watching the videos with the sound off. So if you don't have captions, you are losing your audience on a day-to-day basis and you are leaving money on the table. A second way is to create a brand narrative. This is where you are explaining the benefits of your product. A good framework for this would be engaging hook, social proof, highlight the problem, give them the solution. Most importantly, make your product solution as their problem solution. That is the most underpinning, most important tip out of all three. So once you showed your customers your product as their solution, the next step is to bundle it well with a little bit more social proof. This can either be influencers using your product, it can be how many customers you have, your social followings, and even how many good customer reviews you have. Once you have presented your extra social proof, the next step is to present your offer. This is really important. You have to make sure that you take your customers through a journey from the start to finish, and by the end, hopefully they are convinced on buying from you. Once you've convinced them with the offer, the next step is where you are going to be offering some discounts or incentives for the first purchase. As example, free shipping, 5% off your first purchase, or 10% off your checkout. It really depends upon what your brand is feasibly able to offer without breaking the bank. So that would be my top 5 tips when it comes to personalized supplement e-commerce marketing techniques. And if you happen to find this video helpful, it would be great if you could leave a comment letting me know what kind of marketing difficulties are your brand facing. So I will get back to you and I will make sure that I comment back for every single replies. And having said that, I want to leave with you in one note. It is not about what you know, it's about what you do with what you know. I'll see you legends in the next video.